What is up, guys? Welcome back to Rob Squad Reaction with your boy Jay.
And your girl Amber.
We're back today with another reaction video suggested to us by you guys, our amazing subscribers. But this is not a music reaction today. Tell them what we got today.
Alright guys, so we have started our interview. So this is the interview of the week. I pulled this one out of the email for Jordan. You guys really, we got this so many times. You guys really wanted to see this interview, and you're gonna know why. It's because it is the Beegees.
It is the Beegees. My guy Barry. Y'all know they are my absolute favorite.
Jordan's in love with Barry Gibbs.
That's my dude. Like, if I could have one voice on earth, Barry Gibbs would have been the voice that I would have had, baby.
I think it's more than the voice. I think it's the
voice, it's the hair, it's the
outfits,
everything. But hey, real quick, guys, if you are new to the channel, make sure to smash that subscribe button. Hit the post notification bell because we drop videos
every single day.
But hey, let's get into this interview. It is, again, the Beegees, all three of them. So let's go ahead and check it on out. Let's go. We haven't heard this one.
I don't know what this song is.
Let's talk about your style, and I guess one would describe it as a combination of romance, of emotion, and of harmony. Can you describe or dissect the components, though, that make the Beegees what they are, creatively?
Oh, it's a little bit difficult, because from where we're sitting, it's not that easy to be that objective.
You like to sit over there?
No, but it's hard to be objective about something like that. I mean, we've grown up doing what we do, and the impressions that people have on us is not necessarily our impressions of ourselves.
It's very hard for us to perceive ourselves.
See, we see ourselves as opera singers with banjo.
It can be difficult. Which throws a real wobbler into the situation sometimes.
It really does,
No, we see ourselves as writing. Perhaps R&B music is really our forte, or the music we love the most.
I can see that.
See, we have phases. Our earlier music was a lot more romantic and balladeering rather than the later music, which tends to be more R&B based and soul based.
See, I have a question.
I was about to say, we have only listened to the newer music, the older music, right?
Yeah, I'll say, because like he just said, the older music kind of love. I'm thinking, like, that's one of the first ones I react to, like, How Deep Is Your Love?
Yeah, but then there was also a disco era, I feel like we've heard.
Saturday Night Fever.
Yeah, and there was one more.
Jive Talking.
That's it. That's what I'm thinking of. And so now they're saying R&B, so we haven't got to that.
Ooh.
And that's your boy.
I know.
I mean,
so I'm thinking the Jive Talking was a little bit, maybe a little bit later than, I guess.
Maybe it started off with, like, super ballad, romantic.
Right.
And we're guessing, guys. We're not sitting here and telling you.
Y'all know your boy loves the How Deep Is Your Love, because the falsettos they hit in that one.
But I think that the song that was at the beginning, I don't think that was Barry singing.
I've never heard that one.
I don't think that was Barry singing. I don't know. I could have missed it, but.
Is there a formula for a #1 hit? You start with this, and there's a middle, and
you got those three guys, and that's your #1 hit.
Songs that we have, because we write our own songs. When you've been writing for a long, long time, you get a feel for how to build the build of a record. There's a beginning, and there's a middle, and there's an end, and you have a build. And there's a certain way that you have your high moments and your low moments, and you get used to this. It's almost like going to school and graduating. You get to learn a certain skill about writing records.
Yeah, it's a gift, but it's also a craft. So.
If I said to you, can you write a hit for me in the next 2 or 3 days,
could you sit down what we thought was a commercial record?
Yeah.
And then, if you write a commercial song, we know it's commercial, and then that's the halfway mark.
I maintain that if we put our minds to it, we would write what we firmly believe is a hit record. And when you have that, when it happens and you hear it and you sing it to each other, there's a feeling about it, and we look at each other and we think, this is a hit.
I guess when you write and produce for someone like Barbra Streisand or for Diana Ross, it would be a very different deal to producing or writing for one of your own albums.
Well, you've got to remember that you're writing for a woman. If it's a woman, in fact, you're writing for, like Diana Ross or indeed Barbara, it is a woman, and you're no longer writing for a man's thoughts. So it's like directing a film in a way. You have to put words in their mouths, and you have to give them the right thing to say for them.
Pretend we had to wear a dress for 3 weeks.
We had to wear dresses for a couple of months. You, for instance, Barbra Streisand would want to say something that, about how independent she is, because she is. So in her records, you might want to incorporate a little bit of that independence, like I'm a Woman in Love. It's her right. It's like things like that. And she was a little afraid of singing a song like that.
So you kind of become her.
In a,
Well, her voice
not
becomes another
completely.
instrument. not all the way.
Not all the way.
Makeup, yeah.
Not even once.
Well, you have to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, just to the wig.
But you have to, it's like acting, you have to assume the role mentally and write in that way. But writing for Kenny, I guess, we'll all white beards.
Okay, so I know the name Diana Ross. I've heard a little bit of her music. Barbra Streisand's a name that I've heard of, but I'm sitting here like, I thought Barbra Streisand was an actor. I thought maybe that actress. I thought maybe that's why I knew her name. But obviously they wrote for her. She's a singer, so we have to put her on the list. And the other thing I wanted to say is I like how they mentioned the writing process, and that's kind of what they're talking about mostly so far in this, because we get really wrapped up in the talent of the voices and the instruments and stuff like that. And I love a very well structured, very well built song.
Right.
And I think so often that's one part that kind of gets overshadowed, but that's such a true craft. And like they said, building their album from beginning to middle to end is a craft. Well, and that's there's something to truly be said about that, because that is a beautiful thing to be able to do, and it's really tough.
No doubt about it. And there's been some reactions that we've done to different artists, and down in the comments you guys are like, oh, hey, Beegees wrote this. Like, I mean,
I've seen that.
I mean, like 3 or 4 times. So my question is...
No, they said your boy Barry, or your group, they wrote this.
So my question is, how many artists have the Beegees wrote for? Because from the comments that I've read in the emails and stuff, they are just as great of writers as they are singers.
And that's cool, because that means that their musical reach their musical reach isn't just in their songs, their music. Their musical reach is so broad. I mean, he talked about, I think he said something about Kenny Rogers. He said Barbra Streisand, Diana Ross, and that's just 3. Like, that's just them talking about a few. So imagine just like, I'm just thinking like Teacher Mind, like the web,
right?
Like like the Beegees, and like what all branches off from that, and then what branches off from those. So I think that's cool.
And one thing I want to point out real quick, and I'll see if you notice. The accents, how strong of accents, but when they sing,
where are they? I thought they were from America.
They're from Wales. They're from Wales.
Okay, so you have more knowledge, because I think you're a little bit more invested.
Right, but is it not crazy? Because when they sing, you don't hear their accent.
True. That's true.
But like right here in this interview, their accents are so heavy.
Especially the one in the white shirt.
Oh yes, no doubt about it. But it's so cool to see them, just being them, being normal everyday people.
And also Barry's very personable. Like, he's very charming.
That flow. Look at the flow. He's always got the swag.
Yeah.
Cowboy hat.
But it was fun writing with Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
You must be one of the very few family groups which are still together.
My
3
jazz.
decades of performing. Why are you still together?
We all owe each other money.
I see.
But primarily because we're brothers, probably.
Yes, I mean, we're each other's best friends. It's and we all have our houses close to each other. It was a dream.
If anything goes wrong, we can sue each other.
Isn't it?
This one's funny. I'm sorry, real quick. The one in the white shirt, I think he's more he's more funny. I think the one in the black, and I'm just judging off this interview, guys, and what I've seen. I think he's just, a little bit more laid back, and then Barry's kind of the, like I said, charming.
Right, exactly.
Singing together from the ages of 5 and 6 and 9. It's like all through our lives we've always done things together.
So 6 and 9 last night.
Yeah, it's been a bumpy road for us. It's not a straight narrow road for this group. We've had our ups and downs through the years, and I think that the reason we're together today, is that we have that in common. We have
also our musical goals are the same.
I want to talk about Ego.
Hello? He left us about 2 years ago.
Ego did? That's the 5th brother, right? Ego, right?
Well, he's the worst drummer we ever had.
The worst drummer?
Yeah, him and Yvonne.
Does it come up, though, sometimes? Have there been times in the group's career where Ego has played a big part in that?
When we were growing up, sure.
Yeah.
There was little ego problems, who sang lead on what and things like that.
Yeah.
But nothing more. Today it's more of a constructive arguments rather than.
It's basically the behaviour of teenagers, but placed in the situation we were in, it comes out in that way. It came out in our music, and we were all individualism. I guess we were all searching for our own individual identity because we know where we are, and we know what we're doing. It's a different thing. You acquire your craft. You get better at it.
In fact, the ambition is more so now, because we're all focused on where we want to go and what we want to do and what we want to accomplish, and it's not divided between the 3 of us into different directions.
Yes.
There have been many changes in your lives. Your latest album, One, is dedicated to your late brother, Andy Gibb, and you're quoted as saying that Andy's loss brought about spiritual changes for all of you.
Aww.
It does change you very much. It shocks you into different realizations. When you lose somebody very close to you in your family, it was a very spiritual thing for us. We can't, in fact, accept the fact that Andy is not there. We always accept the fact that he's somewhere. And I think when you lose somebody close, they don't go away. They're out there somewhere, and I think that causes a new curiosity, and you start buying books about life after death, and you start.
I loved that.
I'm so glad we're seeing this because obviously I love this group as as a band or as singers, but to just really get to see them and kind of relate to them on a personal level. I mean, just makes me love them even more. They all seem like so down to earth, like you said. The funny one, kind of just the more personal one, and then the one who's kind of just relaxed, kind of just there. You know what I'm saying? But to see all of their personalities, come together, and they talk about, for a little bit, and I could see, when they were younger, there being some ego,
Yeah, but who's
the face of the
that's
group.
That's with the age too. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of growing up,
right? But to see them all now, and they know, it's one common goal. It's absolutely
and
amazing.
To be able to just kind of laugh about it. I mean, and like you said, one thing I love about interviews, you take them off the stage, take away the microphone, the outfits, all the fans, and you kind of get to see the person, and I'm loving that because we have never got to know them as a person.
No.
We just know them as the iconic stars that you are introducing us to. But and this interview, I mean, they've hit on so much, the writing process. Now they're talking about the death of Andy and how they felt about it. And I love when he said, when you lose somebody, they're not gone. They're somewhere. They're not here. I mean, and I like that because it's like, regardless of your belief system, it's like the way he phrased it, it's like they're somewhere.
Right.
Yeah, and I thought that was just a really cool way to put it out there.
That causes a new curiosity, and you start buying books about life after death, and you start becoming more and more interested in the metaphysical side of life.
It's nice to believe in it. Yeah. I think if I had a choice of believing in the other, then I'd go for this one.
What about you, Robin?
I have a different view of it. I mean, I'm spiritual anyway, and I believe that there is an ongoing thing. But I also think that it makes you wonder about taking every day. I mean, every day to do as much in life now as you possibly can. I think that's what's made me feel that I want to do.
Yeah, particularly because Andy being so young. He was the baby of the family.
Where do you go from here, though, career-wise?
Well, I certainly know what we're doing next year.
Well, we're looking at people who are our contemporaries when we first started off in England, who are out there now 10 years our senior touring, and they still love doing what they're doing, and we want to do the same thing.
We're having a wonderful time, and
we're going to keep making records, make a new album in January and February of 90. And
new world tour in 91.
We're going to be writing for films, and we're just going to go on and on.
Yeah, the idea of being live is still with us. We're going to be touring again.
You're just going to go on and on.
Yep. I think so.
Yes. Barry, Morris, Robin, thanks for talking to Qantas Image.
Pleasure. Thank you.
That's a good pick.
It is, and it's so sad. The Barry is the last one standing.
I know. So hearing them talking about Andy, and then their kind of views on how to live, and then death after that, like. That was a really intimate, cool part to see, and to kind of see that each of them had a different belief.
Right.
They each were, they were a group, but like you said, each one of them had individuality. So that was kind of cool to see the thought process.
And in fact, Barry still does a couple tours each year.
No, I'm not gonna drag you off stage. I'm not gonna watch you throw.
No, I'm just saying.
He's gonna be throwing stuff on stage.
If you bought me a ticket to one of his shows, he goes on throughout the year. Oh, I would cry. But guys, thank you so much for that suggestion. Again, so cool being able to see the off camera, off stage, side to the Gibbs brothers.
That was that was a great interview. I love that you guys said something with so much depth. Yeah. So more interviews, Janice. send us some links, guys.
That's gonna end today's video. We love you guys. We thank you. We appreciate you. Remember, every day that you wake up, you are blessed. And for your new subscribers, you got a goal every day. And Mama, remind them of that goal.
You just gotta make somebody smile.
Make somebody smile, and appreciate the Gibbs brothers. We'll see y'all
We're adding
later.
that now.